Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. It's PubChat. It's Friday night. It's Friday night, so any fucking thing might happen tonight. It's Friday, and guess what? What's happened this week? Well, there's some interesting things that's happened this week. Elon Musk has bought Twitter again, but Twitter is saying, nah, we don't want you to buy it. What the heck's going on over there? Oh, come on, you guys. I mean, I don't care how a billionaire spends his money, but I wish he'd spend it on me. What else has been happening? Oh, tell you what, we got. Oh, I'm really sorry. Really bad news for the town of Ipswich in the UK, where Ed Sheeran has played an impromptu gig. Sorry about that, Ipswich. Sorry. Kevin Spacey faces jury in sexual assault case. Well, that's still going on. He's little dirty little fucker. He's still got his fingers in all the pies. And Elton John and Prince Harry are suing the Daily Mail owner over privacy. Well, I mean, let's face it, whatever Elton John and Prince Harry do together in their privacy is, well, it's totally up to them, and it shouldn't be in the papers, but we didn't know. But there you go, it's all out in the open. And also the last thing in the news is Liverpool celebrates the Eurovision host city. So yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, that's where the Beatles came from, but yeah, oh well, never mind, let's move on. So here we are. It's a pub chat, and who we got on the show tonight? We have Dick Dawson. We say hello, Dick.
Hello, Dick.
We have Commander 401.
Hello, everybody. Elon Musk is just full of ideas, really stupid ideas, and he's just spying Twitter again to distract everyone from his latest stupid idea. And in about a week, he won't want it anymore.
Come on, to be fair, SpaceX has been chucking up rockets like nobody's business this week. I mean, they're flying all over the place. So yeah.
I was talking about his robots.
Totally. Oh, he's robots. We'll get onto that. We'll say hello to Lokifish Marz from the planet Mars. How are you?
Well, pretty good. Talking about rocket vomit, I'm going to be doing a live show tomorrow. Discussing cameras on the moon. Ought to be a bit of fun.
What cameras on the moon? Who's put cameras on the moon?
I did.
I'm not telling.
Did Neil Armstrong have a GoPro in his pocket and he dropped it?
Or was he just glad to see me?
So there we go. What other interesting pieces of news have you heard this week? Anything? Anybody? Dawson, I hear hundreds of thousands of what do you call those fish? Salmon have been dying in the rivers. Of Canada. What you been doing? You've been pissing in the rivers again.
Yeah, no, it turns out that there was this there's areas where we're just not getting enough rain, and so what's happening is the rivers they're trying to go up and spawn in and stuff just don't have enough, and they're beaching out and they're just dead. It's
dead tired, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's a rough sight. I saw some of the pictures, and it was a little bit crazy. It's just not what we're used to. Especially like I'm in the west side of the Rockies, about a quarter way up or so, and all kinds of towns around our area had rivers, and they were turned into more like concrete canals and stuff, and it ruined all the spawning areas for the fish and their passageways and stuff. So we've been going through all this to put the habitats back the way they should be. All these communities are doing it, and then there wasn't enough rainwater, and the fish still couldn't get it figured out properly. I mean, nature really doesn't want the salmon to be doing this whole back up the river thing. Just figure it out on the edge of the ocean or something. But it's tough.
Well, meanwhile, all the bears are like, "Hey, Amazon delivers fish now! Yay!"
Exactly.
Fuck off! I'm full. If I see another fucking salmon, I'll kill somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Bring me a badger.
Yeah, what's for tea tonight, Grandma Bear? Sushi. You'll fucking like it like you did yesterday and the 3 weeks before that.
Don't the rivers smell like Paltrow candles? I bet you they do.
Oh, it must be bad. They must need a couple of cans of Adjaway just to go down and, sit by the river.
I'll tell you what, I'll probably still go out there with a fishing rod and still not catch a fucking thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you slip on some, but you won't catch any.
Well, it's nice to see our resident idiot is in the chat tonight already. He says, PJC Net says, discuss the photographer who knows the photos could not have been taken on the moon with the camera and film. Yeah, okay, PJ.
Oh, that's stupid. That's just dumb.
That's my live stream tomorrow. I'm going to be ripping that guy, that very, very professional expert, his words. I'm going to be ripping him apart.
Who is it? Who is this professional expert of which you speak?
Oh, he is Gary Fong.
Gary, is it Gary? Wedding photographer.
Yeah. And
just parties and bar mitzvahs.
Yeah, and Hasselblad expert.
Right. Has he got one? Does he know what they look like? Has he got like a Polaroid camera, and that's about his extent of his knowledge?
Oh no, I won't knock him on his background and his experience with cameras, but we're talking essentially end user versus technician,
right?
Kind of thing. So he got all kinds of things wrong.
Well, so we can't talk about that, PJ. I'm sorry, because that's being saved for Lokifish Marz. Lokifish Marz's show tomorrow. So you're gonna have to go and join him there to talk about it, won't you, PJ? And don't forget to shill Lokifish Marz's. Oh God, I'll get it right in a minute. Lokifish Marz's channel out.
What time tomorrow?
It'll be 2200 UTC,
which means nothing to anyone.
5 p.m. Well, it means something to a few of us, but 5 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Okay.
Midnight then for. Hang on, you'll be clashing with the
10.
Shills. No, 10.
No, it's 10.
10.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, maybe UTC was the right way to go because obviously math isn't a skill on this panel.
Well, then you've got to take daylight savings into account. You've got daylight savings, we haven't, and it's all fucking all over the place.
Oh, I hate that. I hate those few weeks when we have this crossover because what happens is I forget and I just post the Shills event at the same time as I always do, and then we get a whole bunch of people from the UK. Oh, you changed the time of the stream? Oh, fuck, I forgot about this nonsense. Damn it.
Level 70 in the chat brings up a very good point. A Brit should know UTC.
You'd think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, it's 10 o'clock. Yeah, okay, I've got it now. 10 o'clock. Right.
Put the calculator away.
Yeah. That's the funny thing is UTC. We don't need the calculator. We just look at the clock.
Yeah. Forgive DKG. Forgive DKG because he's working this out on his Newton and the modem failed.
Oh dear God. All right. Enough of that. What else have we got this week? What else has been happening? I think we covered just about everything.
Yeah, well, there's some things I could bring up, but they're for the news segment in the beginning of the Shills tomorrow, so I can't do it.
Yeah, I know. What's the fucking point in this? We're having this show, and everyone's coming up saying, "Well, I've got a thing. I'll go and talk about it, but I can't do it tonight because I'm saving it for my own show. So we're going to sit here in silence, and you entertain us, DKG."
I can clarify what I meant about Elon Musk's bad ideas. Everything from him saying Ukraine has to give up territory to supersonic battery-powered airplanes to some dude in spandex dressed like a robot. In fact, Operator Starsky said he said he might have pinched that idea from the Russians because there's this supposedly this robot that the Russians had, and it turned out to be some guy in a suit. The robot's name was Boris, and it was neither
Danger,
a
Will
robot
Robinson. Danger.
nor was it Boris. Yep, it was that chinky.
That's funny.
And in other news, PubChat has been canceled. This is now turned into a Shills planning meeting.
Yeah. Just come here and tell everybody what you're going to be doing in on your shows. I tell you what. I can announce something. I can show something out. Coming on Saturday, October the 29th, you're going to hear it here first. We are going to be doing a very, very, very special Halloween show, and it's all starting to come together. I'm not going to give you details about what's going to be in it because that'll be telling. Just make sure you're there and wear your Halloween masks and bring your pumpkins because there'll be fucking plenty pumpkins on the show that night.
I gotta render my stuff for it.
I was going to do an at everyone coming up and mention Halloween and whatnot and blah, blah. Is this, I don't have to do that then? Is this what you're getting at?
Well, you can do the everyone as well because no one watches this show. So, you'll have to at everyone so everybody knows about it.
No, but I meant within the group.
At the minute, only 31 people know about it.
That flew over your head as high. It didn't, because you're such a small little Yoda, it didn't have to fly very high. But I meant just the inner group so that we could plan something. And now it seems that I don't have to worry about that. So I will just show up when told to.
You don't have to do any planning whatsoever. It's all.
And I'm just so scared right now. I tell you.
And you should be, but you got to be there. If you're not there, then there's no show. It will be fucked up. So you definitely got to be there.
Well, I guess we forgot to tell Dick that he got voted off the island.
I was going to say, so if show up for this special for sure, because if all hell breaks loose, you'll get to hear me have a hissy fit because I had nothing to do with planning it.
Right. Well, I'm sure there'll be an after show as well, which will let you have absolute command of, and then you can.
Oh, I'll be drunk by then. That's a terrible idea.
Well,
I mean,
what's new?
I've had to hide a couple live streams from you don't give me control when I'm drunk. That's why you all have PubChat now. Ding dong.
Ding dong, monkey. Hey, monkey.
Hey, he's the monkey. He's always flinging shit around.
Fucking get in there, you motherfuckers. I tell you what, right? I was just a little bit behind, and I was listening to your news at the beginning there, DKG. Now we got Ed Sheeran. I'm not surprised he done an impromptu fucking concert somewhere. I mean, he's been an impromptu fucking wedding singer, and he's popped up in Home and Away and sung a song in a fucking cafe or something. Now this gets me. Elton John and Prince Harry are suing for privacy, right? Now, they're fucking hugely famous. I mean, come on. One's a fucking prince and the other's a queen.
Yeah. But Monkey, what? How does Elton John stand up in court and say, I deserve to just be able to walk around like a normal person, dressed like that?
Yeah. I tell you what, but Liverpool, I mean, this is the one for me. I mean, Liverpool have created some amazing bands. Some awesome music to come out of Liverpool. I mean, we got the Beatles, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Jerry and the Pacemakers, Zooton's Cast, Dead or Alive, man. They were banging back in the day. Atomic Kitten just fucking looked good. And now they're hosting an insult to music. Awesome.
Well, it's not an insult to music. It's the Eurovision Song Contest. So
in my opinion, it's an insult to music because every song on there I've ever heard.
In that case, you're insulting Ukraine. Damn you.
No, I'm insulting the fucking music that is always churned out on the. I mean, let's go back. Was it? I don't even know who. Was it Bananarama that we had? What was that song?
Bananarama?
No, not Bananarama. No, who was it?
Dear Lord.
Bucks Fizz.
Come on, we can do better than that, can't we?
not Bananarama. Who is it?
Bucks Fizz.
Bucks fucking Fizz. That's it. Well, it was Bucks Fizz that made me not like the Eurovision Song Contest. That's it. How's everyone doing anyway? All cool? All good?
Yeah, buddy. How about you?
Yeah, man. Rocking.
Awesome.
Just fucking hugely busy. But other than that, you know, sometimes I can't find time to even wipe my own backside. I have to get off the toilet that quick.
Have to call mum in for help, did you?
No, I was trying to get hold of you, mate.
Hence my phone was off.
Yes. Yeah, man.
Okay, here. I got a shout out to do. For anybody that's a member of our Discord, and you should be from time to time, it's actually worth it. I have a video that I will be putting up on the G Drive so we can share with anybody in the Discord server. And it's Ukraine's musical freedom fighters with Clive Myre, M-Y-R-I-E. Myrie. I'm not sure the name, but Clive travels across Ukraine to meet musicians who are preparing to leave their families in their war-torn country in order to create an orchestra and perform at the Royal Albert Hall. With only 10 days to rehearse and, you know, ... kind of thing. But it sounds like it could be cool. So I downloaded a copy of it, and it will be ready for distribution in our Discord server.
Cool.
Totally. And there was something else I wanted to shout out too, but you know, for the life of me, I have no fucking clue.
I'll
Interesting.
shout something out. I got 2 videos ready to go. I just need to make a thumbnail, and probably tomorrow or Sunday, depending upon how busy I am.
Oh, I hear. Okay, cool. I've got it now. On Sunday, Amy's got a great show coming up all around the goings on in Iran right now. The Supreme Leader, I'll come fuck my ass, has really raised a stir with the death of oh man, I'm trying to find her name right now and I can't get it. Masha Amini. And Amy's got a whole bunch of great information all planned and ready for Uncalled For. Of course, Claire will be there and a couple other people that, you know, stay quiet and let them run the show. But it'll be really good.
Kyle Wilson in the chat. All I have coming up is I'm debating Mallory. Good luck with that.
Oh, Kyle. That's not a debate. That's you defending yourself from a Nerf baseball bat being fucking wiped at your head for 2 hours. Good luck, pal.
Who's debating? Mallory and
Kyle Wilson in the chat.
All right, what are they debating?
Why Kyle Wilson bothered to debate Mallory.
No, I mean,
I think the debate is are hot dogs a sandwich?
Oh, hot dogs a sandwich.
I mean, let's face it. That's welcome to the Shills Shitty Debate.
Excellent.
Yeah, is the hot dog a sandwich? It's a sausage with a bun. Who fucking cares? Right,
Yeah.
Next question.
No. The hot dog is the original submarine sandwich.
Yeah, it's a sandwich. You know, it's a thing in between bread. It's a sandwich. I don't know what the fucking argument is.
That's right.
It's
Even if you put
food.
even if you put your pecker in that bun and put mustard on the thing, it's still a sandwich. It's in bread.
Well, it's like it's an open sandwich, because it's an open sandwich, but it's a sandwich.
There you go. Yeah,
so it's not sandwiched together, but it's a sandwich. What?
Peckerwich.
Yeah, it's like a sandwich between a rock and a hard place, isn't it?
Well, that's a weird sandwich you make, but no point in those.
Why are they called hot dogs? Can somebody fucking that weirdness to me?
Well, they're hot, but they're not dogs.
Well,
yeah,
maybe they were.
So half of it's right.
If it's made out of wood, it's a witch.
see, so that's a resounding no. I like that answer best, though, 401. I mean, hot dog. But then again, why is a hamburger a hamburger? Ain't no ham in the motherfucker.
Right. And what's a hot diggity dog? What's diggity?
A hamburger was actually invented in Hamburg, Germany.
Okay, that makes more sense then. There we go. Okay, now that makes sense. Really, eh? So they got the bratwurst, they got the hamburger. Those people will sometimes say Germany's not a place to go and have like a vacation looking forward to the food. But to be honest, they kind of just took over North American food. We just didn't realize it.
Oh no, I've been to Germany. Their food is horrible.
Oh, dude, the UK doesn't exactly have the best part of the best part of no, the world-renowned thing with food in the UK is that you have so many worldly chefs serving great meals in London's restaurants and stuff. But the rest is like blood and kidney pie and ridiculous crap like that. What are you thinking?
It's fucking delicious. What are you talking about?
That's just wrong. Come on.
There's nothing wrong with British food. Nothing wrong with a shepherd's pie.
I actually agree.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
A British menu suits my palate very well, but people think to like Italy and France and stuff.
What about a fucking Sunday roast?
Yeah.
Meat?
Oh, I love that. Yes.
You know what I mean? Fucking. Yeah.
Felix and I do a lot of roasts, and we get the little tiny nugget potatoes and we put them right in the roasting pan and all that, and it just comes out as heaven. It's amazing.
I've been cooking a lot of Japanese food recently. That's fucking great. I mean, I love food you can't pronounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, DK, do you know what our national dish is?
Chicken tikka masala.
China.
It's actually a vindaloo, but maybe you're right, but I actually thought it was a vindaloo. Either way, it's an Indian, isn't it?
Yeah. which we had tonight, actually. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, see, Tony Regime in the chat. A few people called me out on that one, but come on, I was kind of being, funny. But Tony Regime in the chat says, if you haven't had black pudding, you haven't lived. No, I'm sorry, but literally, I think that's what I decompose into. I think you've got the live and dead wrong,
Yeah, black pudding is one of those sort of things. It can be really nice. Half the time it isn't. Most of the time it isn't.
Not.
It's just blood congealed.
It's
fat.
But you can't make the analogy that's like offering an Italian man haggis, because there's a strange little Scottish town in Italy where they all go to the pub and have haggis, and they dress in kilts and there's bagpipes and everything. I saw it on James May's TV show and I was blown away. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, I love haggis, but the way I cook haggis is not like other people. Mine is really nice, not really nicely cooked, and it's got little crispy bits in it. It's really tasty. But a lot of haggis you'll have is like stodgy and horrible. So it depends. It totally depends.
Yeah,
I've been to a fish and chip shop where the chips were fucking disgusting. It's in the fucking name. It's a chip shop. Get the fucking chips right.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, how can half your menu be bad? What the hell is that?
But you know what? The very last time I ate in a fish and chip shop was with my mum down in Weymouth. We went away for a couple of days, and I got food poisoning off the fish. They had mackerel. Fresh, apparently, fresh mackerel fillets, 2 mackerel fillets, and chips. Chips were lovely. And the mackerel, I was having to put more tartar sauce on it just to hide the taste, right? I ate 1.5 of these fillets, and that was it. I was done. My mum said, "Oh, if you're not going to eat that, I'll eat it." I was like, "Yeah, crack on." My mum put one bite in her mouth and spat it straight back out. She went, "How the fuck can you eat that?" I said, that's why I was putting all the tartar sauce on it. Oh, yeah, that was an award-winning fucking chip shop as well.
It might be the tartar sauce that was off.
No, because she had it without tartar sauce and spat it straight back out. She didn't even chew it. She just put it in her mouth and went, "Oh, what?" I was like, "Was it that bad, Mum?" I thought it was bad, but
yeah, there was a town that I lived in that had a fish and chips place right on the pier, and all their fish was all like fresh catch. Like honestly, they just got it that day out of the ocean, and it was just some of the best stuff I ever had. Then moved back to where I'm at now, and went to go get fish and chips. I'm like, this tastes like crap. Oh my god! And the funny thing is I live in a city that has a fishing industry. It's like, how do you screw up fish and chips when one of your major industries is fishing?
I have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
I know Popeye's chips taste like shit. And the fish is okay, but yeah.
We got a great one in the chat here. AJ in the chat says, "Hey Dawson, in Scotland, the tartan register has brought out a new tartan for Ukraine. It has yellow, blue, and they donate a percentage to Ukraine charity." Yeah, that's awesome. Nice. You know what? I would buy one of those. It wouldn't be an attire I would wear, but it would be something that I would hang on the wall. Oh, fuck. Speaking of hanging on the wall, I was going to give Sloth Girl a shout out and show my Albert Einstein action figure, still new in the package, on the Starsky stream at the end. I forgot. Shit. Damn.
They made an Einstein action figure. When was it made? I know that's probably some novelty thing, but where'd you get it?
Well, funny thing is we were on, I don't know if it was PubChat or the Shills, but it was like, I don't know, maybe a year ago now. And I had found a meme picture that somebody took of an Albert Einstein action figure in the package, and it was like for sale at a thrift store. And I wanted it so bad, but it was, some old meme picture. Like it, where am I ever going to get one? It's gone, right? I mean, it was never even in my area. But I showed it on the show, and Sloth Girl, purple rhymes with orange sort of partner in crime, or, I'm not really sure there. I don't speak for others, but she had just seen one at her local thrift store or something to that effect, and blasted off and grabbed it for me and shipped it to me. And
yeah, they are pretty cool. They are pretty cool. They've been making them for a few years now.
Well, this one is ancient. It's not the reproduction. It's the real one. Like the plastic is about to crumble. Like you have to be delicate with, this is the old one. Oh yeah.
Yeah. My Tars Tarkus figurine in the packaging is the same way.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's UV, heat, life, blah, blah, but you can feel like it's got no give at all. If you touch it too hard, it's just going to crumble. But I love it. It's amazing. It hangs in a position of honor in my living room and the whole bit.
So do they make any with Feynman or any of the other giants, or just Einstein?
Well, speaking of which, after that gag they did on Big Bang Theory where dude made a little remote control Stephen Hawking in a wheelchair, I was hoping that would come to market. I was going to get one. I don't think it's in bad taste. I thought the guy was amazing. I would love to have a little Stephen Hawking. I should stop now. No, we can't. Level 70, we can't make a Tesla action figure because he'll just start figuring out how to give everybody free energy and talk to aliens and stuff. Oh, wait. No, we're not on the History Channel. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, he started going nuts before he died. But he was brilliant. I actually have a relative who worked with Tesla. Well, that guy is obviously dead now, but he was Uncle Frankie. I think he actually worked with Tesla.
But why can't he get quality control right on his cars, though?
Not that Tesla. And then there was another guy at the trade school. He was an 80-some-year-old dude back in 2002. He told me how the control systems on ships worked and how they use synchronous motors, stepper motors as senders and receivers. That guy was awesome, and he worked for Westinghouse for years.
What?
I think there was literally like 3 of us typing at the same time there. That's hilarious. Okay.
Breaking
I
transmission.
thought I lost my connection. Again.
Just a telepathic one.
I need 2 seconds, so I'll be right back. Won't be long. Sorry.
Oh.
10 minutes later.
You just gave me an idea of a funny joke.
Do you want to share it, or are you gonna save that for your own show?
Oh, everyone will see it later. But it will be on.
Joke will be on the air next Saturday at 10 p.m. UTC, or possibly 5 p.m. Eastern.
What if Dick disappeared, right? And then he fell in some kind of black hole or wormhole, and he didn't come out until like 80 years later. Because you know how, like 10 minutes turns into I'll see you next week.
I feel like I'm stuck in the 70s, so that kind of describes my life, 401, to be honest.
Yes,
I kind of,
the gravity
I conquered time.
That gravity pull of that hemorrhoid you've been carrying around for all these years is actually creating time dilation.
Yeah. Yeah, you think I use that wheelbarrow just to carry my groceries?
That's your testicle back carrier.
Yeah. I did the old South Park microwave so I could get the medical weed.
And I will be stuck in the 1990s as far as temperament goes for the rest of my life, but that's okay. Those were better times.
What was the song? Lucky to find me stuck in the 90s again. What was that? Does anybody know? Fuck, why did that pop into my head? For God's sakes. Somebody sing Ozzy Osbourne and erase my memory.
I don't know the song.
Blah, 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 blah. There. We got Ozzy.
Yeah, exactly.
Carol, the dogs are shitting in the kitchen again. That song.
If you go back and look at Ozzy's life, this is kind of how it works. So he gets out of rehab and he writes some songs and he gets an album going and everything. Make sure his musicians are, no, trust me, it's cool this time, right? And then they go on tour, and by the time the tour is done, he got to go to rehab again. It just keeps happening. No, it was funny for me. Maybe that just didn't work.
Add something in the background. Yeah, we all know that Ozzy's been on drugs. He must be funny when he's all strung out.
Have you ever heard the real story on the whole supposed biting the bat's head and stuff? Does anybody here know the real story? Sharon told it.
Please tell the story. I know he bit the head off a bat, but please tell us the background.
No, the bat was a gag on stage. The real story is when they were getting the record deal for 1 second here, sorry. When they were putting together the record deal for the solo stuff after he left Black Sabbath and whatnot, they went into it was a fake bat, AJ. They went into the record producer's place, the office or whatever, to play him a couple of the recorded songs with Randy Rhoads and so on and whatnot, right? And when the song was finished, they opened a box that had a few doves in it, and the doves flew out of the box. It was supposed to be some, we still think we're in the 70s grand thing. One of the doves landed on Ozzy's shoulder, and he grabbed it and literally bit its fucking head off in the middle of the office with the record execs. Like, he really did it. And a few of them were appalled and aghast and whatnot, but one or two people understood what that would mean to the whole heavy rock scene and whatnot that was really forming as we got into the 80s and whatnot. And it worked for him. It was great. He got his record deal. I don't know, but wow. Wow.
The bat was fake. The dove wasn't.
That's right. And Sharon told the story with a real, honest, matter of fact, not the way I tell a story when you can tell I'm just making bullshit up, when I'm doing that routine. But I totally believe it. And it goes with the whole cycle, because it wasn't long after they had done the tour that became the live album that was Ozzy doing the Sabbath song, Speak of the Devil. If I remember that all properly. But anyway, crazy story. Glad I'm not having my supper at the moment as well.
Those aren't pigeons or doves. It's chicken. Trust me.
I just had way too much to eat an hour ago, guys.
What, you been eating dove heads again?
No. Flat earthers. I mean steak.
You mean shit?
No. Let's say it was Soylent Green. I have no bloody clue, but you needed A1.
Anytime somebody mentions A1, that's A1 steak sauce for anybody who's unsure due to regions and stuff, I always remember that commercial, and it was that guy that's a comedian, and he sings the song, I'm an asshole.
Dennis Leary.
Yeah, Leary did an A1 steak commercial, and it was really funny because it was snarky in his style, but obviously not written by him because he was way rougher, It was funny.
Well, he kind of sold out, didn't he, really? Because he used to rode off the back of people like Bill Hicks and and stole a lot of his material, and then became on the show. There's this kind of asshole stand-up comedian, but then he just went into acting and all that kind of stuff, and they try to keep his character, like in what's the film Demolition Man. He's very Dennis Leary-ish in that, but it's
but he's Dennis Leary that didn't quite have enough time to memorize the script, so they just put it up on something so that you can't really see my eyes moving because I keep doing that newscaster thing with my head as I go. But when Stallone first meets Leary in Demolition Man Underground, with the rat burger and everything, it's so poorly rehearsed. It's here, do Dennis Leary with these lines. It's just, it was, that movie is that movie. So do I have to keep going? I mean, it's just.
Is Demolition Man the one where supposedly Taco Bell was the only restaurant to survive some kind of knockoff of the Cola Wars?
Or Pizza Hut, depending on which region you watch it in.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, they're basically owned by the same company now.
Yeah. It did foretold the future. Right? Oh, I remember it now. Dennis Leary was getting all mad at people because they weren't using A1 steak sauce on hamburgers. He's like, well, what's a hamburger if it isn't just chopped steak? And what do you put on a steak? A1. And he's all mad and stuff. And it was really funny. It was awful. Maybe I should have just kept that to myself.
I think Bruce Campbell does better commercials.
Very much. Yeah, he's cool. I like that guy. He really learned to embrace the fact that he's not the best actor. And since he's done that, he's actually pretty good. Oh yeah, Randolph. I bet he did get paid for that. Absolutely. That was during that time when you could make serious money for appearing in a commercial, but you know, the world got over that.
You think?
Well, they did. Now it's about the whole sponsorship, not about one commercial. They lock you into a thing where you're doing a whole whack of stuff for them. They're smarter than that now.
Oh, I see. I'll see what you're getting at now.
Yeah. You know, like Michael Jackson made huge money for doing a Pepsi commercial, but nowadays that would be like a 3-year contract for all kinds of other things and blah blahs and pictures on items and stuff, right? It's different. It's not just selling out now. It's literally reaching down your own throat to grab your heart and soul and liver and spleen and hand them over.
It's like that. That model. What's her name? Kate. I forgot her fucking name now.
Katie Cocaine.
Yeah. Selling all the Coke, Diet Coke.
Yeah. Katie Cocaine, Kate Moss.
That's it. Kate Moss.
It's hilarious. She's slinging Coke, and it's hilarious because I mean, literally, it's been her best friend for 25 years.
But not diet one though.
What did when Clarkson was down in Colombia or whatever, he said, oh, look at all these farms here that are doing nothing but coca leaves, or Kate Moss's delicatessen, if you prefer, whatever he said. That was funny.
Talking about mentioning Clarkson, did you see the last Amazon thing they did?
Yep.
Oh my God, they're gonna get themselves killed one of these days.
I know.
Seriously. Out of all the shows from Top Gear, all that stuff, that was like the closest. I mean, that was just utterly stupid.
I don't even know how they got away with it.
When they lined the cars up pointing in to the tunnel where there was a wall, I thought to myself, why don't you back the cars up to the wall and drive out, you fucking idiots? And I couldn't believe they did it.
Well, I mean, that was half of the joke, but the fact is the joke went too far. I mean, even back in Top Gear days when they'd just be, just hanging around a track or something, they'd be wearing neck braces and helmets and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
They just went straight at it. I literally don't know how health and safety allowed them to do that.
Well, Amazon has no British health and safety the way you guys do. Amazon's out of America. And in America, if you're caught as a roofer and not having your little waist strap on to, tie yourself down, the company gets a few $1,000 fine. But over time of not getting the fine and being faster at the job, you make so much extra money that you pay the fine now and then just cheat all the time. It's completely different, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's completely different because there'd have to be like insurance companies, insurance backers.
Oh, there is. There's all that stuff. There's all that stuff, but I've seen like on Top Gear and a few other shows, the health and safety with the meetings in the beginning and stuff that they do in the UK. We aren't as good at that. It's not as strong. It's not. You don't show up in Canada, especially in my neighborhoods, like where I've lived, and I've lived in pretty much every province in Canada over my life. Nobody shows up at the job site and has a meeting about safety and how to make sure and blah, blah. They just fucking show up and go, hey, how's it going? Oh, I'm fucking hungover. How about you? Yeah. I've been up for 2 days on cocaine and alcohol. And then they start putting up wood, man. That's it. There's no None of that shit.
Yeah, they just get into the plane and start flying.
Yeah. You know, like I remember. Sorry, Loki, but one last point. I remember all the hoops that James May had to dance through to build his Lego house. It would have been way easier in North America, but the place would have collapsed and it would have been a clusterfuck.
Crazy cat in the chat. James May came close in that tunnel, and I replied to him. It's like, actually, the frozen lake scene was fucked.
Oh my god!
Bad. Yeah. I mean, I've been on a frozen lake and had it just start to crack. It's like, that's it. I'm gone. I'm out of here.
Yep. And go back a wacky years, and there would have been a helicopter there for all the helicopter shots. These days, it's all drones.
Yeah, and you didn't see any safety crew or anything. They didn't do any cuts or anything. It's like, yeah, that's kind of bad, guys.
Actually, if you watch that footage, there very much could be a time when he pops through the ice, and then the next cut is actually 10 minutes later when they've determined that it's not dangerous, but they keep going. But then pulling the car out is another massive, but you see what I mean? There could be a time in there where they do make sure, but even still, when that car went through, it could have just disappeared.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Those guys are morons sometimes, man. You know, I still want to hear a real explanation on what happened when Richard Hammond was driving that electric supercar up the hill climb, went past the finish line, and for some reason lost it 15 seconds after the finish line going around a corner. Why? What's going on? You know what? Why haven't you let off on the throttle?
Well, I think it's somewhere in his contract that he has to crash something expensive at least once a season.
I think it was because Clarkson had it under radio control.
No shit. I remember that season, or not season, but series 9, when he crashed the dragster and his head was literally dragged through the ground and whatnot. That, like, my God, that was no joke.
Well, I tell you what. If you look back through Top Gear and Hammond's all the dangerous,
he's
things
lucky to be alive.
Well, no, this is the point. He's been cloned. That's not the same Hammond.
Ooh. Was it the same people that did Paul McCartney?
Well, no, I don't know. But you know, it's like one time, you know, Hammond's got the beard because that clone wants a beard. The other clones didn't want a beard. So you know, just look through that. They're not the same Hammond. I promise you. PJ, get on it.
I do know if you go back to Top Gear news, Hammond sits there and interacts with everybody. But on the Grand Tour, sitting around the table, all he does is fiddle with his fingertips until it's his time to talk.
Jim Henson puppet. That's all I can say. I can't give.
I
can't give away any more than that. Jim Henson, brilliant. Animatronics or Hammondatronics, who we call it.
Yeah, I think it could be Dr. Evil in a disguise.
So they're on what, Hammond version 4 or 5? Because there's the supercar. There's a supercar wreck that catches on fire.
Mm-hmm.
There's the dragster.
Yeah.
There's the, what is it? One of the rock climb episode where he flips the truck.
Yeah, but they also have spare Hammonds in case you know, they don't quite get the shot and they have to redo it. So you know, you just bring out the other spare Hammond.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
There's always 3 Hammonds on set just in case.
I hear through the grapevine that when they did the thing where they pull the Land Rover up the dam, that he actually died twice in that one alone.
No, they shot it in reverse.
Yeah. They were actually just lowering Hammond number 5 to his grave.
Yeah. Yeah, he got into a pay dispute and was like, right, we're dropping you. Bye.
Okay, so PubChat has become commentary on the 3 idiots that drive cars. That's interesting.
And hold on. His wife hasn't made him quit yet because she has the original Hammond and she doesn't care what happens to the clones.
Oh. So that probably proves the point that's been made in the background of science for the last 20 or 30 years. And that is, every time you clone yourself, your penis decreases in size by 7.3%. So she grabbed onto the original and she was like, fuck that, I'm keeping this one.
Shit, I must be at version 10 by now then.
Yeah, imagine the Highlander. I can't even hold it when I pee.
Oh, when you said Highlander, I thought you meant, that could be only one. Oh, that Highlander.
Yeah. No, but I just bending their rules some. Oh. So, I wonder. Who wrote the book of love? No, there's there's two
random thoughts from Dick Dawson.
Yeah. But there's two sort of camps when it comes to how to address certain social issues in the world. I'm not going to bring up which ones, yada yada blah blah blah. But some people think that you should always be calling out and shouting out the differences and making sure that they're all honored and so on. And then there's another group of people who say everybody should just, never mind all that crap and just, be happy and cool and chill and, never mind. And the people that love the differences are very scared of, certain cultural aspects being washed away. And the other group are totally cool to make sure that those things don't happen. They just, would rather everybody speak as a whole instead of as other groups and whatnot. And I think we're a long way from sorting that out, unfortunately. Life loves that us versus them. And as soon as somebody has a good idea, somebody always has to oppose it with another opposite one, and away you go. But, what do you think?
Hands up in the meet if anybody understands what the fuck Dick Dawson just said.
Oh, come on. You do.
What you on about? Be specific.
I can't, because it's a very general thing. You got all kinds of different people in the world. And some people think it's very important to, show the differences and make sure that we're celebrating it. And other people are like, hey, just let people be people and everybody do their thing. And it's a very different grassroots sort of opinion. Does that make sense?
Anybody?
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
It does to me. But, you're just being a pedantic fuck, really.
Well, I'm just tired. I don't know.
No, but
I'm just trying to figure out what you're on about. But I kind of understand what you are talking about. But it sounded like you were that thought came from a specific.
There's no. There's no specific, because I could put that into a lot of different places, right? But the reality is sometimes to the people who just want to let everybody do their thing and move on in life and never mind, I'm this and I'm that and so on and stuff, they get annoyed when they hear that too much. But the people that love shouting out the differences and stuff get annoyed with the other group because they don't get on board with it. And that's a basic, sort of basic difference in social media interaction that's going on right now. And I do find that people take it too far and they get all pissy and shit about things on basic little attitudes where you can't sum somebody up in just a few posts or You got to play it cool more, right? But I do think there's that thing, you know. Yeah, exactly, Space Wolf. Yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not going into any one area because it ain't happening. No way. Not fucking chance. I'm not that stupid, man.
Something has got your goat up to make you think these sort of thoughts.
There's a few, but at this point, there's a few, but at this point, you're still not even sure on which side I fall on. So I got lots of layers of protection here. You ain't doing it, man.
I don't know.
Fuck you and the horse you rode in on, bitch. Yeah, so but yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I do think there's a pervasive thing in society where we love that adversarial position so that we can argue one versus the other, left versus right, one team versus the other. And, you know, we love it in sports when we have those two teams vying for the and it's just, and I see this as another one of those things. And I think social media is the driver that makes it come down to a core simple thing.
Oh well, I mean, I could say this, and I'm going to get shot down. But there was this thing happening recently where, you know, that the trans or the, so we say, the drag library readings things that have been going on. That seems to be quite pop. You know, we have drag queens reading children's book at libraries. You've heard of this?
Or no?
No? Oh, you're not getting the invites?
No, but if a dude's all dolled up and wants to read at the library, that's fine. But if you're going full diva with the, you know, the overdress and the real aspect of it and stuff, man, that's just not how librarians dress. I am not sure I can picture that, you know?
Well, this thing has been happening, has been going on, and what's also been happening on the side is you're getting these MAGA style nut jobs going down there armed to the teeth and threatening to kill everybody and kill the trans artists.
Well, that's not necessary.
No, it's not. Well, no, but this is kind of like, it's sort of like, I think I'm trying to riff off of what you were talking about, you know, people celebrating differences or not celebrating differences, you know, so the people saying that, you know, yes, it's okay for us to do it, but and then you got the MAGA people saying, no, you shouldn't be doing that. But at the same time, I kind of get the feeling that some of these library readings are being set up because they know they're going to piss off the other side.
I can't stand that attitude in it. You can't do it that way. Yeah.
You're understanding. You're understanding what I'm trying to get at.
Because that just makes things worse. You don't poke the bear when all you want it to do is fucking go to sleep.
Yes. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've been with the wife, but I don't think she would like you being referred to like that, but you know
what I mean. Yeah.
But I think on certain areas of social media, this sort of thing is going on all the time. Like when people are talking about, when some lady will say, you know, get her hair done in braids, and then there'll be like fucking uproar because it's cultural appropriation. You know, because only we are allowed to do that. You're stealing that from our culture. But isn't the whole point of us being on Earth to integrate all these different cultures? You know, it's not to segregate them. We're supposed to unite them. And I get frustrated when I see people who's like, you know, trying to pigeonhole themselves, saying, "Oh, only we can do that because that's our thing. You're not allowed to." And I fucking hate that.
That is absolutely silly.
But here's the thing. Sorry, Commander, before you get in. Here's the thing. You know, I love Chinatown and Greek Town and Little Italy. You know, I'm talking about in Toronto specifically. And I love those zones. But all of that comes together to make the city of Toronto really great. And there's no, like, if you go into a little Portuguese area of Toronto, because they got the greatest bakeries and stuff, oh dear lord, if nobody gives a rat's ass that you're not native Portuguese, they're just happy to see another Torontonian supporting local business and stuff, and it's all friendly, hi,
Can you imagine going to a Chinese restaurant and being turfed out because it's cultural appropriation because you're not Chinese enough to eat the food that they've cooked? I mean,
but I wanted to get this out because there's times when celebrating your historical culture and whatnot is damn amazing, but at the same time, there was a time when affirmative action was a great idea and then a nasty word, and when it comes to people, isn't it better to just celebrate the people you love and the people you think are cool and stuff, and do your thing, and yada yada, and just be happy about it, and do if you're somebody from Greek town in your town and you've got a real heavy Greek presence and a real Greek restaurant thing and going, then fucking give her, man, and absolutely celebrate that shit, and then somebody else is going to open up a real cool sort of American breakfast place that closes by 2 p.m. and excellent, blah, blah, but we don't have to, you see, if I keep going, I'm just going to end up annoying some people,
Yeah.
But
I know it gets like that. It gets like that where you feel like you can't actually say what's on your mind because you're going to piss people off. And
social media,
really frustrating.
Yeah, social media is too harsh on this shit because there's a lot to celebrate for every person individually, every group individually, creed, religion, custom, and so on and so forth, and all the power to you. But as soon as we start really calling out individuals and and so on to the point of insanity and whatnot, you get an uneven balance. Like stop with the whole thinking of all of that stuff and just live in the world you're in and look around and stuff, and you know what, it'll all balance out just fine and everybody will have a fucking good life. Does that, I don't know. Well, I can't do this without pissing people off. Loki, shut me up.
Loki's coming to save you.
Hey, I'll take the heat. I'll take the heat. Celebrate your culture and heritage and individuality as long as it is not at the expense of others. Period.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Well done.
I was just going to say that a lot of cultures build off other cultures and feed on other cultures. Take Ukraine, for example. Ukrainian folk music sounds almost like Jewish music, and it turns out they have fed off each other historically in the languages because both languages were suppressed for a really long time, have different rules to them, which make it easier and a much more suited language to sing. And when I listen to Ukrainian folk songs, the tempo and everything is almost or exactly like Jewish music, and the Ukrainians are not fighting with the Jews, and the Jews are not fighting with the Ukrainians. And then we have all of American culture, which they used to like force the Italians to get into the melting pot to work at literally a huge pot and come out dressed like British Americans, blah blah blah, to work at Ford Motor Company, but we don't do that anymore. And as long as you're not mocking someone, I think the difference is mocking someone versus like if someone dresses in like Japanese style clothing and they're not Japanese. That's you like that fashion. Why is that fashion you wearing that fashion wrong? Or is I just think it's all silly. As long as you're not mocking.
Yeah.
The funny thing about your comment about the folk music, and I found this really interesting. If you dig through like American bluegrass, like the old school traditional deep in the mountains bluegrass, there's a lot of key elements in that you find in folk music all over the world.
Totally.
Some of the tempos and everything.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was really cool.
Oh, and then there's an American slang. The word ain't. It's not really officially a word yet, but it means the same thing as the word ain, to give you an idea. Like in ain Callahan, no ain, it means is not. So English language has kind of picked up different bits and pieces of even other languages, German, French, a little bit of Hebrew, and then you have Greek, then the Romantic languages like Latin and, well, I already mentioned that, but it all builds, and then you have these assholes going, "Oh, are children being indoctrinated with Arabic numerals?" And then what is people gonna not do math? Otherwise, they're culturally appropriating stuff from the Arab world. Now we know that there are some people who wouldn't do math now just because they know the numbers they're using come from Arabs, but that would be silly not to use the numbers anymore.
Yeah.
Well, can we just use 8 of them? Not all of them, just 8 8 Arabic ones and 2 Roman ones. Just even out.
Oh my God. Speaking of which, we've had people that made some really funny gaffes in the flat earth community over time about Arabic numerals and whatnot. And I think they meant Roman numerals, but there were some funny gags there.
It's an Indo-European language for a reason, because the Greeks culturally appropriated or brought back our current alphabet we use, and along with a lot of other things. If you have an Indo-European language, you can thank people in India for part of your language.
Oh yeah. I had a nasty interaction with a redneck neighbor about 7 years ago or so. Felix was a lot younger. Maybe it was even 8 or 9. I can't remember, but he was going on about Islam and being a real hater kind of person. And I said, you ever notice words like alcohol, algorithm, algebra? You notice how they all start with al?
I know where this is going.
Holy fuck, did I set him off, Loki? He was furious. Don't you dare stuff their fucking language down my throat. I'm like, it wasn't me, dude. That was history. He got so mad. And I was just having fun with it, right? You want to be a fucking, fuck that. AJ in the chat says, "Hey, Dawson, what's a redneck? I've heard that term, but I don't know what it is." So this is the North American version of redneck. You've got city folk who are doing their whole suit and tie thing and whatnot. And then you got the suburbs outside of the city, and they're still pretty much doing suit and tie thing, but a lot of them are a bit more casual and not trying to climb that far up the ladder. And then you get out to the rural folk, into the, the farmland and whatnot. And out in the farmland, you got a lot of people that aren't rednecks, but the rednecks are the ones who, have a mustard stain on their white little shirt without sleeves on it. We call it a wife beater or a tank top, right? And the rednecks want the guy with the 20-year-old pickup that has a gun rack in the window and 3 rifles and shotguns or whatever at all times and stuff. And is this making any sense now, AJ? You know what I mean? It's that more rougher, sort of slightly more. I don't mean simple in a way of lacking intelligence, but just, not caring about, like a redneck would never bother arguing with a flat earther about the shape of the world because they would just think they're stupid and, go out and get drunk and go hunting the next day. Does that work?
Do you know what, right? Because I have been listening, but I was eating some food and I was talking to the lady I live with, and she was telling me about words. As you're talking about language, this is ideal. She was telling me about words that have been banned or, not allowed to be used in certain places. I.e., you can't say mum and dad anymore in school. You have to use the word parents just in case it's mum and mum or dad and dad, if you're a teacher. Here's one for you, Dick and Amy. Apparently you can't call someone who's autistic, even though, if they have autism, by definition, they're autistic. You can't.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. I'm sorry, what? You can't use the word homeless, mixed race. Now, I thought mixed race was the only real definition you'd use for someone who was mixed race, not half caste, which is something we used to use years ago, and then it was only sort of in the past sort of decade that, like myself, realized, even though when I used the word half caste, it's the context in which I use it. I'm not being racist. I was just referring to someone who's mixed race.
What about mixed nuts?
You can't use, here's another one more. You can't use housewife or house husband. It has to be homemaker.
I've never heard any of this.
Now, what are you homemaker about that?
Yeah, but a homemaker, that's a 60s way of saying that a housewife actually has a job. That's homemaker. That's where that one comes from. That's old school.
But like, you can't use house husband either. You have to use homemaker. Yeah. I mean, it's all absolute bollocks.
What about an unemployable husband?
There was another one as well, but I can't fucking remember what it was. And I was just like, well, that's ridiculous. I am not going to not use that word.
We could do it in long form.
Was she blowing stuff? Was she blowing stuff in your face? Because a lot of the agitators and bullshit artists here in America come up with words that I've never heard that you can't say in order to try to straw man the other side. Like, that just sounds like it, because like Putin was like, and they're taking away mom and dad and making parent 1 and parent 2.
Yeah, see, like, I mean, my question was, did you read that on some dodgy Facebook post? That's to me where you read that sort of shit. But you
get the feeling that people in the world that don't have enough fucking things to do.
Yeah, innit? Innit? To be worried about, I mean, fucking words are words. It's how you use the word, the context in which you use the word. Like I said, when I used the word fucking half caste, it wasn't racist because I'm not being racist. I'm not racist. I'm not, so they are just words. It's like with fucking, with words like, I mean, it was George Carlin. I don't know if any of you seen
we all know George Carlin.
Yeah. The N word. George Carlin, when he does about the N word.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it for the algorithm.
Easy.
And he says, like, black guys use that word towards each other because of the context. They're not racist, and they're not being racist because they're black. You know what I mean? Whereas, if the white person uses that word, then it's very difficult for a white person to really use that word. You know what I mean? But it is just a word nonetheless. And the point is, it's how it's used, and
even a white person can use it. Even a white person can use it in the same context, but it won't be seen as that.
No, absolutely, absolutely. So I said it's difficult for us to use that word and really sort of, whereas if a black man uses it, it's almost like second nature. You expect them to use it.
Yeah, well, especially in music these days, and in music these days, it's constantly being used. But as long as a black man's saying it, it's all right. If a white man does it, you'll be dragged through the coals.
The only time I've used that word was actually in context with trying to explain to someone that, night was falling, and I'm not going to dox myself as to where I worked, but it was in customer service, and I had to try to explain to them that it was nighttime and they could not, basically they had to basically take the service provided now because the service was shutting down, and the person was speaking Spanish, and I knew, like there's Niger asparagus, so I tried using, which is black mold, and that's one of the reasons why that word is so it goes back to Spain and slavery and the variation of the word Niger. And so I tried using a related word to basically try to describe darkness, because I'm not fluent in Spanish whatsoever, but I did not get in trouble with my employer because of the context in which I was trying to use it.
There's a great episode of Star Trek with Abraham Lincoln who's on board the Enterprise, and he comes across Uhura, and he says, wonderful to see such a powerful, wonderful Negro on the bridge, and it's like, they go, we don't use that word anymore. So I can't remember exactly what someone's going to quote me in the chat here and explain exactly what was said, but Uhura wasn't phased by it. He says, no, we've grown. It's okay. I know it's a racist term, but we've grown past that. It's okay. And that was brilliant because she just like flew past it. We know it's a racist term. We knew he was being racist from a period of time where it was seen as racism, but no, she was just like, no, it's okay. She's not phased. It's okay. We understand. We've grown past that now. We don't care anymore. And I love that. But anyway, I have actually been caught on a stream saying that word, and it ended up getting clipped out and repeated over and over and over again. But the thing was, what I was doing, it was a joke. You know me. It was a joke. I was basically saying, I'm not racist. I love, and I just listed every kind of racially unacceptable names you could mention about everybody around the world, and I just listed them all up. Said, I'm not racist. I love all these people.
Yeah. Or you could do it the other way. I'm not racist. I hate everyone.
No, I did it the other way. I just listed off all the. I'm not going to say any of the names, but you can imagine. But I listed them all off. But yeah, oh well, it was a joke.
I wonder how professors of anthropology wind up having to skirt around some of the names, anthropological names of various regional groups of people, because some of the how you would describe a skull using anthropologic terms is not exactly conducive to not upsetting people in any other context.
Well, DK, didn't Dave Chappelle do a comedy bit where he did something very similar on stage and got booed? And his response was like, his response was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you people? It's comedy. It's context."
I don't know. And if Dave Chappelle saw my stream and copied my joke, all good to him. Yeah, exactly. Comedy, context. You don't have to be a hateful person to say hateful things. Because by saying hateful things, you're highlighting the fact that people get hateful about it. That's the whole point.
Yeah. I'm often a nice person, but wow, I say hateful things. And just fucking, no filter, man. Flies out.
Well, I did that tonight with the wife. She was saying, she was sitting on Facebook and she was reading out something and she said something. I said, "Well, can you say that again, but say it in English?" She said, "Why did you have to say it like that?" And it wasn't hurtful, but she was hurt by it. I wasn't intending to be hurtful. I was just, being jokey, jovial, or whatever. But no, she took offense to it, and it's like, I don't mean it like that. It's just me.
But one of the
marriage to me is so fucking long. You should understand. By now.
Well, I've made jokes plenty of times that I don't actually agree with, but the joke was so funny for the moment that I still fucking made it.
One of the things too in the United States is that there's an ultra sensitivity due to the fact that, in 2017, people were marching through the streets screaming, "Jews will not replace us," and all kinds. There's just a rise in the actual vitriolic ugliness that there's a hypersensitivity to it. At some level, I understand it, but at another level, it can kind of get over the top, like if someone's wearing clothing that is, say you're a Caucasian and you're wearing Japanese clothing and someone gets upset.
What is it?
Well, I think most of my clothes come from China.
It's like, if you want to learn offensive jokes, racially offensive jokes, you know what the best source is? The very race the joke is about. Oh my God. My father-in-law is half Japanese, and some of the jokes he said, I'm just like, cringe.
Yeah.
Oh man. I remember before my son was born, but I was married, my wife and I went with her grandma and her grandma's boyfriend to go out for lunch. We had never met him before. And literally at the time, she's like 89, right? Or no, was it great grandma? Yeah, she was great grandma. And so we go to this place in town that's just all about the bento box and whatnot, and just amazing. Like, it's so hard to even get in sometimes during the tourist season. It's not funny. But we go in, sit down, we get our orders in, and dude looks over at me and starts doing that 70s I'm imitating how an Asian person would talk thing.
Oh no, were they pulling the eyelids, doing the whole
no, he was doing it more like the joke about the spoon falling down the stairs, but don't know out joke. Loud, and it was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening right now. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, if I even yell at this guy, he will just crumble. Great grandma, will hate me and everything, but I'm not sure I can tolerate what's happening. It was so, oh my God.
That sort of thing happens up and down the country in the UK. After the pubs are shut and everyone's gone to the Chinese restaurant or the Indian restaurants, they're all doing it.
Oh, it was so bad because he was literally being a dick. It wasn't even,
Actually, I went to our local Tesco Express shop the other day, and there was you know, it's all mixed race people, you know, who work behind the counter, all kinds of people. And there was a Indian guy who served me, and he had a body cam on him, and I've never seen that before. And I was almost tempted to ask him, said, "What's that for? Are you getting racial abuse in this shop? Is that what's about? And you're having to record it to show your employers?" And
right.
That is not a good place for our fucking society to be, if that's the case.
Oh my God!
Obviously, I didn't ask him because even just the asking him that is almost racist. You know what I mean?
Well, it's also acknowledging that seeing it was basically the first thought on your mind, right?
Yeah.
And that's
and it shouldn't be like that. No, we shouldn't be that kind of society that you go, oh, is that why you're wearing it because of racist abuse? No, that shouldn't even come into it. You shouldn't even be the first thing that comes into your mind. It's like when they turned that whole thing. Oh God, when Will Smith slapped what's his name, the comedian at the Oscars,
little Chris Rock.
Chris Rock, that's right. And there was a lot of people were talking about it as it was a racial issue, and it's like it took me a moment because oh right, yeah, of course they're black. It hadn't even crossed my mind that the fact that these two people were black, didn't even cross my mind. They are black. I mean, I noticed that. I've got good eyesight, but it literally had not crossed my mind. And that's where I am. I see people as people, and a lot of people see people as different colors, and have to backtrack and acknowledge it and almost push your foot around it.
But DK, here's an example of this kind of thing being thrown in our faces, because I know this has happened to me a couple of times. There'll be 7 dudes standing over there talking, and I'll be coming out of like the beer store with some beers so we can go on and do our thing. And somebody will be like, oh, blah, blah. And I'll be like, yeah, that's that guy there. Oh, which one? Oh, the black guy. Oh, well, come on. Did you have to point him out that way? But he's the only one in the group. It was the easiest. 2 had blue jackets. You know what I mean? Like that's not being a jerk. It's just for the sake of simplicity.
Well, you could have said, oh, the one's got a good baritone and can jump really high.
Yeah, well, I could have called him an African American, but then he would have looked at me and said, "Well, we're in Canada, you idiot."
Yeah, and I'm from somewhere else anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm West Indian.
Yeah.
Well, as someone who's actually been treated like shit for something that you have no control over, that actually being treated like shit for something you have no control over is one of the worst feelings imaginable. And I just had to say that because they don't have a problem with the way you're behaving. They might, but there's nothing you can do to remedy that situation. I mean, you can even teach them their own religion, and you can know it better than them. And they can tell you to shut the fuck up. You're making us all feel like pagans. But at the end of the day, they will still heave the slurs at you. And it's one of the worst feelings imaginable.
It's not like you can change your race or your I mean, the funny thing was, I mean, I was talking about this, and I think I mentioned it before. There was a black comedian on TV one night, and she was going on and on and on, ripping into the guys and the size of their small penis. It's like, well, what do you want us to fucking do about it? He's like, okay, some guys have small penises. Don't rag on us. We can't do anything about it. And I don't understand it. For somebody who should understand hate speech and hate against, a certain kind of people, but you're doing it against people who can't change the size of their penis. I mean, That's what I don't. That's what I don't understand is when people who have been through abuse and or have a history of abuse, they're quite willing to use the same abuse, but in a different way.
The worst thing you will ever find, worst thing that I've ever seen, is a racist Jew. That's just as bad as Unkafis. You know, I'm trying to remember the name of the show, but anyone who that's just as bad as Unkafis.
Unkafis.
There's
Monkey
like an
needs
anime.
an explanation.
Yeah,
There's
that's
an
what.
anime. I'm trying to. The name of the show's on the tip of my tongue. Unkafis is a black man who actually thinks that he is white, and it's on an anime style American show with like I can't remember it. The Boondocks, and he's when he gets his DNA test and he finds out he's 100% African American, he throws a shit fit and wants to kill himself. And he's constantly racist to all of his family. And he behaves like a Klansman, but he's black.
Fuck. Yeah,
That's fucked up.
Isn't it?
Does anybody remember the Chevy Chase Fletch movies?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna leave it at that. Oh, do you? Oh, okay. Shit. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. But my God, there was a brutally racist moment in one of them, and the first time I saw it, even way back in the 80s, I was like, whoa, dude. But he shows up.
Go on.
Well, he shows up because his great aunt or somebody who owned like a plantation home in Mississippi willed it to him. And he thinks he's just like Mr. King in the money, right? And it's just a fucking decrepit shithole, right? And there's one guy for the staff left, this black guy that's about, 55, 60 years old and kind of more into just rocking on a rocking chair on his porch, right? And so they go for a little tour through the house and it's all cobwebs and just horror, right? And at the very end, the black guy says, I think Chevy Chase says something about, okay, we're going to go into town. I'll be back later. And the servant guy says, well, is there anything you want me to do while you're gone? And Chevy Chase looks at him and says, you might as well jump down, turn around and pick a bale of cotton. I fucking couldn't believe it, man.
But then, do you know that if you look back, that you find a lot of racist moments in TV. One sticks that I always remember is we all know Only Fools and Horses.
Oh yeah.
And Del Boy starts seeing this woman. It's when he gets his ready-made family and he's got the stepson. But before he's with the mum, he gives the little boy 50p and says, go and get yourself an ice cream from the Packies on the corner. Which actually brings me to something, because Packies is obviously Pakistani, right? Now, again, it's just a word, but it seems unacceptable to use the word Paki, short for Pakistani, but we can call ourselves Brits, short for British.
Yeah, it's just the way you say it. Well, I mean, I had a friend who was Indian, and he used to talk about, back in the day. He was actually from Manchester. He had a Manchester accent. It was really funny. He talked about how the fact he used to get mocked at school, being called a Paki. And of course, his thing was, well, I'm not a Paki, I'm Indian. Yeah. And one day we were filming some stuff in our halls of residence, and he walked out of his room at the wrong time, just like walked down while we were in the middle of filming it. I shouted down at him, "Oi, Sal, you stupid packy!" And
Oops.
But no. The thing was, I was doing it because we knew between us that he used to get insulted by being called a packy.
He was just being facetious. Yeah,
I was doing it to him as an in joke, but then I realized afterwards that he may
everybody
not have
could
seen
hear
it.
you.
That he may not have seen it like that. He might have seen it as just me being racist towards him, and I never got a chance to actually sit down and talk to him about that. But it's like I didn't mean it, but he could have seen it that took it the wrong way.
Can I tell a story here real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
You're talking about India, right? So we have a real fucked up thing in North America, right? Where the word, if you were Indian, that actually meant you were native North American for like everybody that grew up since like the 1910s or whatever in North America, right?
Indians, though.
Yeah. Everything east, west of Europe was Indian.
Yeah. We did have Indian as well, but that was specifically, males and so on. And, I think I'm not really sure how that works, but Indian meant, cowboys versus Indians, we're going to take your land and gun you down, taming of North America. Right. So,
yeah,
but lately, that's not cool anymore. And you're not allowed to say Indian to mean native North American. Now we call them First Nations or natives, right? And but you've got some like 70-year-olds and stuff that are out, on the res and so on, and they're like, no, I don't like that bullshit. I'm a proud Indian, right? So it's a little confusing, but
yeah, but I bet all the corner shops on those reservations are being run by Pakistanis. But
here's the thing: in our area, we have a very big community from India because we're surrounded by orchards and vineyards, and they love that shit. And these guys in the last 20 years have come over and bought up lots of them, and they're loving it. They're doing great. So. But you can't say, what's his name, the Indian, because somebody will think you're talking about somebody native and go all woke on your ass. Yeah. But we used to call the guys from India East Indians to make the difference. But they never liked that because they're from India. They're the fucking Indians, and they would like to be addressed properly. So we're left in this conundrum of bullshit where nobody's allowed to be an Indian anymore, and the guys that are Indians would rather be. So we literally just go, "Hey, dude."
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Here's the solution. Here's the solution. Find out what their name is, and just call them by their name.
Yeah. I made that joke earlier in the live chat. The singer of my most successful band was from Jamaica, and you know what he preferred to be called? Kevin.
And then I love that word woke, right? So woke can mean anything from your head being shoved up your ass to opposing voter suppression. Because they use the fact that some people have their heads shoved up their ass, and then they try to paint anyone who opposes things like voter suppression or opposing racism in general. It was shortly after Biden took office and all the red states were adopting voter suppression laws. They were basically accusing any corporation or anyone who opposed it of being woke.
I think you're over politicizing the term woke.
I'll tell you what, right? For me, some people can just literally be woke and they think that they have woken up to the fact that the earth isn't a globe, and it fucking well is a globe. You stupid idiots. You
I know. It's the context of how it's used.
I still want to debate the hot dog sandwich thing.
Welcome to the Shills Shitty Debate. And what side would you like to debate?
It is.
Okay, and who are you going to debate? Pick a numpty from the panel.
Who is bold enough to tell me that a hot dog is not a sandwich?
Hands up.
Well,
children.
I just don't care.
Children among men.
It's not a sandwich unless it's made out of wood.
But Subway advertises their product as Subway sandwiches. Eat fresh. And as such, a hot dog is the original sub, and a sub is a sandwich.
Shills shitty debate. Right,
Burgers
so because no one's
sandwiches as well, aren't they?
no one's up to take on Dick Dawson on the challenge, so you know what? I'll fucking do it. I'll go for it. Okay, Dick Dawson, you're going to be 4 hot dogs is a sandwich, and I'll try and argue against. Off you go.
All right. So when you put something in bread, it becomes a sandwich. If you close the edges and it's stuffed with pizza stuff, then it's a panzerotti. Right? If you take a piece of bread and slice it and you have like a hot dog or a submarine sandwich, it's a submarine sandwich. But the submarine sandwich does have it in its title. When you put food inside of bread, normally just sliced, not all fried together like a panzerotto or and all those other kinds of things, it is a sandwich. And I rest my case on the fact that submarine sandwiches, you know, Subway sandwiches, they say it in their ads. And, well, you know, I can't stand the place. I would never eat there, but they use the word. So that's that.
Are you relinquishing the rest of your time?
I am, because,
right.
You know, that hit like Thor's.
It's my turn, because Dick Dawson, you're fucking wrong. You have no idea what you're talking about, and I'm going to ad hom you and straw man you to the fucking buggery like a normal debate is on the internet.
No, this is an egg.
It is not a sandwich. No, a hot dog is or hot. Actually, no. Actually, when you say a hot dog, you mean the hot dog and the bun, but the hot dog is also just the sausage. So, when you say a hot dog, are you implying that the whole collective is a hot dog?
No, but who is
a sausage? I don't know. Wait, you know, look, moderator. So here we go. A sandwich. McDonald's is a sandwich because it's like 2 layers of bread with the meat in between.
The shit in between. Yeah.
A sandwich, you know, a ham sandwich with 2 slices of bread with the whatever you intend to insert in between is also a sandwich. But a hot dog is not a sandwich because of 2 reasons. Well, the first reason is the orientation. A sandwich has 2 layers of bread in a horizontal position with the meat feast in between. A hot dog is a perpendicular sliced piece of bread with the hot dog sausage dropped
Your Honor,
in between.
Your Honor,
I haven't finished.
I object, and I point as evidence to the open face sandwich.
Moderator, and also a sandwich is 2 pieces of bread that are sliced all the way through. I'm going to go to PJC Net in the chat. A hot dog is only sliced halfway down with the sausage dropped in between. Therefore, it's no longer a sandwich.
PJC's mom won't let him eat hot dogs because he gets all excited and goes to fucking OnlyFans afterwards. It's not happening.
Moderator,
I think, right, listen, as your moderator, shut the fuck up, the pair of you. DKG, you've just spoken a load of dribble, and I'm sorry, but
that's not moderating. That's taking side, you cunt.
Listen, and you pretty much said what what Dick said, didn't you? But just like then just put different labels and the same shit. Dick, I mean, it's a hot dog isn't a sandwich either. You're wrong, because when I think of a hot dog, I think of a tin
freak
that I pull out of the cupboard, and on the side of the tin it says hot dogs. It says hot dogs. Now, when I open that tin, there's no bread. There's just fucking hot dog sausages and water, and it says hot dogs. Now that is a hot dog.
Actually, you can actually get hot dogs in the tin with the bun provided.
That is some disgusting shit. Never say that again.
It is.
I bet that's as good as mushrooms and potatoes in a tin.
You get a little sachet of mustard and ketchup to squirt on it as well.
I go to a local butcher to get like hot dogs and stuff, and they're like 3 times the price, but they're not, lips and assholes, and they swell up when you do them under the broiler, and then you do them up with some like proper mustard and some like olive oil, homemade mayo in the bun, and you put some extra old cheddar on top and a little bit of bacon, and they're not bad, but they are a sandwich, even though they have, a hinged side.
I do like the comment that Mipet posted, and it's gone again now. Where did it go? What was it? Mark Beiser says DKG Custom automatic loses for using something PJC said as Yep. You win. Yeah. You win, Your Honor.
Can I just say something though? Because I have another example here. Like quite a few times actually when I've been out clubbing, and I've been sandwiched between 2 girls on the dance floor. So
Well, I could think back into my university days, and
did anybody else had a vision of a couple of cows in the barn waiting to get milked, or was it just me?
Does a spit roast count in a sandwich?
That's a spit roast, isn't it? Like a hog roast.
No, I'm talking about a completely different spit roast.
Yeah.
And
now for something completely different.
Footballers like.
Oh right, you know what, girls and boys, we've hit the hour. I think it's time for round tables and for us to
girls on film.
I need to fuck off anyway.
Go on, off you go. Fuck off. Off you go.
No, I want to fucking see this out now.
Off you go.
See the fucking round table shit.
All right, go on.
Looks like it's Sergeant Major marching up and down the square.
And in that case, Monkey, you are in charge of the round table. Take us round.
Right, fucking here we go. Come on in, Lokifish. Let's start with you. What did you think about this fucking banging evening?
Well, I would like to correct both of those debaters. A hot dog is a sleepy sausage wearing a jacket, so you both lose.
Get in there, fucking rocking. Mipet, man, you there? Come on, lovely. You ain't said much. No?
No, leave
fucking DK, go on, DK, since you're spouting your mouth anyway. Carry on.
Mipet's not feeling very well, so bless her. So bless your little cotton socks. So you take it easy. But she's been banging in the chat, bringing up the highlights and all that kind of stuff. So thank you very much, Mipet. Me, well, it's my show. What do you think? Welcome to my show. And and enough of that. On to the next one.
Okay, come on, Commander, my little lovely. What you got?
Oi, flippers.
Hello.
401.
Hello, Commander. Dick.
Oh, there must be a mic issue there. So I'll speak for Commander right now. I'll speak for Commander. Soon, the Penguin Army will overrun the Earth, and you will all bow down to me.
I just got the joke. It's like page 401, isn't it? Oh no, it's 404, isn't it? What's the page?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out the 401.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. But I love PubChat. DKG has taken over the show, as we all know, and there will be a few format changes and stuff coming up as he kind of makes it his own. And no, they won't be based on masturbation. Don't think like that. You know, you're disgusting. What the hell? But we should turn and ask the host with the most boast. So that's DKG.
Ask me what? What do you want to ask?
No, I don't know. How are your hemorrhoids?
His hemorrhoids are great. I was fucking massaging them earlier.
Yeah. I had to put peanut butter on them for him to lick it, but you know, never mind. Enough about that.
Wadger.
You didn't need to bother with that shit.
All right, so everybody, thank you very much for coming around.
Say fuck all then, did I?
Oh, okay.
I got something to say as well, you motherfucker.
Go on. Hey, tell you what.
Right.
I tell you what, Monkey, you shut up for a second, and I'll say, Monkey, how did you enjoy tonight?
Yeah, man, I love the pub chats. I don't always make the main show, but like I always try and jump in on this because it's fun, isn't it, man? We chat shit, we chat good shit, we chat interesting shit, and I think like DK's now the new bar. You're the manager of the pub now, aren't you? So I don't know. I was thinking about maybe like wouldn't you like a pub quiz once a month or something?
Yeah. Ding 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 ding.
That's a good idea.
Once a month, I'll do that.
Yeah, we're always looking up for
questions, mate.
Yeah, we're always looking up for ways to upscale pub chat. We're on it.
I mean, you have that, don't you? Have it once a month, like the third fucking pub chat a month is quiz night. Like every fucking Wednesday, Dan, you're local. Well, it is most Wednesdays, isn't it? I mean, DK, it's Wednesday, isn't it?
You gotta pay the £2 entry fee, and the winner gets the pot.
Yes, right. Yeah. Oh, you have teams, obviously.
And anything you spill, you clean up yourself.
So fucking get in there. Right.
All right. I'm going to leave it to Dick Dawson to take us out, and I'm going to hit the credits.
I just wanted to tell y'all, from the mouth of a real redneck, all you got to do is remember, if you're feeling a little sad, a little confused, and maybe too drunk for your own good, just pull over, pull out your gun, and shoot.
dear. It's over. Go home.